Band-Aids. He even enlisted Bunchy Carter, a friend from Soledad State Prison and founding member of the Los Angeles chapter of the Panthers, to help him amass an arsenal for the showdown. As November 27th approached, Cleaver prepared himself for the end. Quote, "I was going to call a press conference the morning of the 27th at Merritt College, setting forth my reasons for refusing to surrender to the pigs, and calling the people to be witness to whatever happened." End quote. In the end, Panther Minister of Defense Huey Newton, who was in prison on a murder charge, ordered Cleaver to flee to Cuba, not only to avoid unnecessary bloodshed, but also to follow through with another plan. In summer 1968, Cleaver and a delegation had met with Cuban officials at the United Nations. Cuba promised to provide him with training facilities for guerrilla warfare. Cleaver could later sneak back into the United States and use the Appalachian Mountains as a base to carry out maneuvers against police units. The plan was part of Cleaver's larger vision to free Black America by driving out the occupying white police force. It had worked in places like Algeria, and Cleaver hoped to make it work in the United States. On November 26th, the day before he was supposed to return to jail, Cleaver escaped from San Francisco. Outside his home, protesters held up signs that read, "Keep Eldridge free," while uniformed and plainclothes policemen milled about. Cleaver enlisted a friend named Ralph Smith, who looked a bit like him, to act as a double to fool the police. He slipped out the back door of his house with $15,000 in royalty payments from his recent bestseller, Soul on Ice, and he jumped over the fence where a car was waiting to take him away. Cleaver enlisted the help of a San Francisco acting troupe to escape. The actors covered his face in stage makeup to make him look old, and put him in a wheelchair. Then one of the actresses dressed up as a nurse to push him through the airport. As a final touch, the troupe outfitted him with a fake colostomy bag, so that nobody would get too close. He then got on a plane heading for John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. Standing over 6 feet tall and built like Muhammad Ali, he was nervous about passengers recognizing him. About halfway through the flight, the makeup began to melt, giving him a ghoulish appearance. But no one paid too much attention to a sick old man, and he made it to New York without incident. From there, he crossed into Canada and made his way to Montreal, where he stowed away on a freighter heading for Cuba. Quote, "I am on my way to exile." Exile, Cleaver wrote in his journal aboard the ship, with a mix of excitement and melancholy. Quote, "Behind me, I leave everything. Wife, family, friends, the struggle of my people for their liberation, the American Revolution." End quote. As the Minister of Information for the Black Panther Party, BPP, and the flamboyant author of the best-selling Soul on Ice, Cleaver was the group's fiercest spokesman and advocate for armed revolution. He helped build the Panther organization from the ground up with Seal and Newton. With his impassioned speeches, Cleaver created meaningful alliances with white radicals, and he inspired thousands to join the cause of Black liberation. Along with revolutionary artist Emory Douglas, Cleaver was much of the creative force behind the highly successful Black Panther newspaper, the economic and literary engine for the party. He was uncompromising in his vision for overturning the white capitalist order in America. When the dream of a non-violent social transformation of American society died with the assassination of Martin Luther King, Cleaver was prepared to incite guerrilla warfare to destroy Babylon, his pejorative name for America. As he said in a speech at the height of his influence, quote, "Instead of submitting to this any longer, we would rather provoke a situation that will gut this country, that will lay waste to the cities, that will disrupt the economy to such an extent that the enemy